Mobile office and blue skies put a sparkle in my eyes. It's Rhyme and Reason 618.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're here.
Hey there, Tony here, and I'm sure you probably have noticed this, but it's pretty amazing what technology can help you do these days. For example, as I was writing this, I was using my iPhone as a computer to write, and I used a small Bluetooth keyboard to type, and the keyboard actually is a really good one. It feels real good, almost as good as the keyboard on my MacBook Air. And my computer, the iPhone, was propped up nicely on a little drawer in the dash of my mobile office, also known as my little blue Toyota truck. And my mobile office at that time, when I was writing all this, was parked in the sunshine with a nice view of Pikes Peak, right here in beautiful Rocky Mountain area, Colorado. And from that vantage point, I could see a fairly long stretch of the front range of those Rocky Mountains. I saw blue skies and snow-capped peaks, and even a few swatches of white clouds drifting by, coming over the mountain as they usually do, and then drifting on by. And it's an early winter day in the early part of 2021. The day that I was writing all this was January 3rd, to be exact. And the fact that I could sit there and I could soak in that scenery while just sharing it with you on small devices like that, tiny, very small devices. You know what a smartphone is like. It's not very big. And a Bluetooth keyboard that I can fold up and literally hold both of them in one hand comfortably. Those are blessings. Those are awesome blessings in a never-ending series of blessings that come with living in this digital age. And I call them blessings because there was a time, not all that long ago in my past even, when none of this would have been possible. None. Did I mention none? Yeah, because none. I couldn't have done any of that because I can recall, as a matter of fact, being extremely excited when I ordered a Panasonic word processor through the mail way back in sometime in the 80s. And it was this real modern-looking electric typewriter with a built-in word processor. And I could store things on cassettes. And the typewriter ribbon would come in cassettes. And there's a lot of different things I could do with it. It was really, really cool. But you compare that to what I have now, and that is like a dinosaur. I mean, slow, clunky, big, heavy. And I was so proud of it at the time. But this stuff nowadays is way, way cooler. I mean, these days I can write words and music and literally share it all with the world, potentially, almost instantaneously. I mean, you can just skip the publisher's rules and their arbitrary methods for picking, we're going to pick you because we like your writing, because it's dark, because it's erotic, because it's sinister. I mean, that's what you get most of the time nowadays. So you can skip all that. You don't have to go with their rules. Just skip the hassles of waiting for printing and binding and distribution. Just skip all that need for bulky, loud, and unreliable equipment, some of which is kind of what I described with the Panasonic word processor. But here's what's especially cool about all this. The information and resources to do all this, to make everything smaller and more compact and more instant gratification in the digital age, the information and resources to do all this has been here on our little blue planet since the day it was made. Yes, it was here when Adam and Eve were put on the planet. So let that sink in for a minute. I mean, every single thing you and I ever needed to be able to type words on a little keyboard and have them show up on a small screen connected through the air in a tiny little mobile office has been here our whole lives. Everything we needed for that to happen has been here our whole lives. I know I'm repeating myself, but I want you to get your mind around that. The only thing lacking until this time in history was the know-how, knowledge, which is synonymous with understanding. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's part of why God tells us to get understanding. If you check the show notes, and you should because there are links in them all the time, get understanding is one of those links. Matter of fact, God says, in all you're getting, get understanding. That means really go for it, get it. But he adds a caveat just before that when he says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. Yeah, you need wisdom and you need understanding. And that's because humans tend to have an uncanny knack for messing up a good thing. Oh my goodness, we've messed up good things over and over and over. I can't imagine how frustrating it has been for God throughout these 6,000 or 7,000 years he's been dealing with us knuckleheads. So many people immediately look for or stumble into a way to corrupt or pervert the very things that make their lives better and easier. And it's almost impossible to avoid being one of those people without wisdom. But that's not you and me, right? No. I'm sure you're just as much in awe over the ability to have a tiny mobile office as I am. And I'm sure you want to use your technology and your gifts and your talents to help others get and maintain an eternal perspective on life. So, if that's true, I encourage you to look for opportunities to serve others. And starting today, especially since we're in the first section of the first month of a new year, starting today, if you haven't already, just go ahead and look for those opportunities and help people see how they wouldn't be able to enjoy any entertainment or business applications on their smartphones or their laptops or TVs if God hadn't put all that information here in the first place. Okay, for today, look for wisdom from the way, and you can then do more of what God wants you to. Your eyes on the prize will help you to recognize God makes no mistakes, so we have all that it takes for days full of praise, never-ending, life-filled days. We have that opportunity. Share that opportunity with as many people as you can while you're still here in this space-time continuum, enjoying the digital blessings we have. And on that note, I'll leave you with the sponsor, which is TonyFunderburk.com. Go over there and hit the merch tab. Get that t-shirt, as I always mention, that says, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and